Hello guys, I thought I would do another video talking about Wilson Logistics. I had a lot of comments and a lot of people had questions about Wilson, so I thought I would go through my experience with them, try to give you a little more insight. So keep in mind, I haven't been there for a few months, probably 4 or 5 months. So things might have changed. But when I started, they will get you a rental car to the terminal, which I did mine in Springfield, Missouri for orientation. And they'll get you a hotel room. And you'll be in orientation for a week. You get breakfast at the hotel before you leave. A shuttle will pick you up at the hotel, and then they provide you with lunch while you're at the terminal. So dinner is basically on you. There is quite a few restaurants within walking distance of the hotel. So first week in orientation, you spend part of the time in the classroom and half of the time on the training pad, which is the parking lot, where they'll have you practicing your backing maneuvers. You have to do parallel and a 90 and a straight line back and an offset. Each day you'll learn a different one. You do have one day that you'll go out on the road with a trainer, just like to go around the block to kind of get the feel for the truck. So it's after you make it through your first week, they'll set you up with a trainer, and you could leave out on Friday, and some trainers don't get there till Monday or sometime during the weekend. You'll go out for 2 weeks with a trainer out on the road, just to get used to driving and practicing your pre-trip and practicing to pass your test, because after the 2 weeks you'll go back to the terminal, so I went back to Springfield, and then they give you like a day to practice out on the pad again. And then you'll be assigned a time to take your test, and you'll take your CDL test and hopefully pass the first time. The majority of people do pass the first time. If you don't, they do give you another chance to practice and try again. So they're pretty easy going. No real complaints there. They do a really good job with their training. And then they'll set you up with a trainer to go out for your 30,000 miles. And so you'll go home, get your license after your 2 weeks. After you pass your test, you'll get your license. So you get to go home, see your family for a minute, a day maybe, and then you'll start on your 30,000 miles, which is team driving. So for me, most of the time, my trainer is sleeping and I'm driving, and vice versa. There wasn't a whole lot of training going on. Once your trainer knows that you know what you're doing, you just have to ask them questions if there's anything that you are unsure about or don't know. You have to wake them up or ask them when you're changing shifts. It took for me about 3 months to get through the 30,000 miles. And then you'll go back and do your solo week. For my solo week, I was in a day cab in Springfield, doing like a shuttle run from a warehouse to a plant, moving trailers. And that was probably the best training that I had. Just because it's a lot of repetition, parking trailers, picking up and dropping off. I mean, you do probably 8 to 10 trailers a day, backing in and picking up, dropping off. So it's that I learned a lot doing that in my solo week. And then once you get through that, they put you in your own truck and you're on your own. You do have to be on your own for 6 months before they let you have a pet on the truck with you or have a rider with you. It's like a 6-month probationary period. I was asked, is there forced dispatch? No. They always ask you before they give you a load if you're okay with it. And I've said no maybe twice. You know, it's not good to turn down a load that doesn't make you look good. So unless you have a valid reason, or you know, you really, really don't want to, but nothing is forced. I think they upped the training pay to $900 a week, and once I was on my own, that's about the same. That's about the same as I did when I was training. I almost want to say some weeks I made more when I was training than I did when I was on my own. So yeah, I averaged about $800 a week, I think, on my own. And that's before taxes, insurance, or anything. They did not offer a per diem. And as I said before, I stayed a company driver. Lease operators make more because they make what the load actually pays. But you have to pay for your truck and your fuel and everything. So as a lease operator, you have to stay out probably at least 5 weeks to even make any money. Because if you take a week off, then you're in the negative because you have to, your truck payment and everything is going to come out twice. That makes sense when you go back to work because you got to pay for the week that you were off. And that's one reason why I never went lease, because I like to be home. I went home about every 3 weeks. A couple times I did 2 weeks out. And the longest I stayed out was 5 weeks. I think that's kind of what they want from you. They want you to stay out 5 weeks. A lot of people stay out months at a time. My family is important to me, so I like to come home. That's one reason why I left there, to go to the regional job. So that's kind of the process that they go through. Hopefully that answered some questions. There's no extra charge for pets. There was a $10 a week fee for having a rider. But it was really easy to get the rider signed up. You just let your dispatcher know. There's no big paperwork or anything you have to do. So they're really easygoing. So hopefully that helps and answers some of your questions. Keep them coming if you have more questions. I'd be happy to try to answer them for you. And good luck out there.